Hello everyone, this is Sharun here from 24/7 Techie, and in this video we will be comparing the Motorola Moto E3 Power and Xiaomi Redmi 3S Prime. This is a comparison between a 9,000 rupees Xiaomi Redmi 3S Prime and Moto E3 Power, which is priced at 8,000 rupees in India. So first of all, with the physical overview, at the back of the phone we can see the camera sensors, single LED flash and a fingerprint sensor on the Redmi 3S Prime. Moto E3 Power doesn't have the fingerprint sensor, but the Moto E3 Power's back is replaceable and it is a textured back, and the secondary noise cancelling microphone on the Moto E3 Power could be seen at the back as well. The bottom of the back we can see Xiaomi's branding. Speaker at the back for Xiaomi compared to Moto E3 Power's speaker is in the front, and as we can see in this angle very clearly that the textured back on the Moto E3 Power. So now at the right of the phone, the button configuration, exactly similar button configuration, so power buttons and the volume rocker, but on the Xiaomi phone or Redmi 3S Prime it's metallic buttons compared to plastic buttons on the Moto E3 Power. So it's all plastic on Moto E3 Power compared to Xiaomi, where we can see a lot of metal use, premiumness. And at the top of the phone, IR blaster is extra on the Redmi 3S Prime. A secondary noise cancelling microphone is at the top of the phone compared to Moto E3 Power's at the back of the phone. Only a 3.5mm headphone jack for E3 Power at the top. And at the left of the phone there is the SIM card tray, which is having a hybrid SIM card slot, exactly same configuration as of Redmi Note 3 and quite a lot this year's Xiaomi phones. And so the second SIM card slot is a hybrid SIM card slot which accepts SD card or a second SIM card, compared to Moto E3 Power which has 3 slots, so 2 SIM cards plus SD card is accepted. At the bottom we have the charging ports which are exactly same, so normal micro USB 2.0 ports, and the primary microphone is at the bottom for the Xiaomi Redmi 3S compared to Moto E3 Power which is at the front, so a little bit difference, but everything is almost similar. So at the front of the phone we can see that both the phones are 5-inch screens, 720p, and we'll jump into the settings. It's a UI overview, and in the settings we'll scroll to the bottom, about phones, and both the phones are running on Android Marshmallow. And in the RAM point of view, out of 3GB of RAM on Redmi 3S Prime, about 1.8 gigs is available, and out of 2 gigs in the Moto E3 Power, only 800 MB is available. In the storage it's 16GB for the E3 Power, but you can use the SD card as the internal storage. In the Redmi 3S Prime you can't do it, so it's 32GB plus an SD card, not with an SD card. So there is a little bit of difference if you get it, but still it's 32GB internal for the Redmi 3S Prime. And this is an specs overview of the phone. So 3500 mAh removable battery on the Moto E3 Power, 3 slots, a 1 GHz quad core processor. That's rare. A 1 GHz is actually underclocked and a little bit low powered. It's a MediaTek processor, 2 gigs of RAM, common things, R5-inch 720p screen, and 4G voice over LTE on both the SIM cards. Whereas on the Xiaomi Redmi 3S Prime we have a fingerprint sensor. We are talking about 9,000 rupees model, and 4100 mAh battery, 32GB internal storage. That is also for the 9,000 rupees model, and 3GB of RAM. That's also in 9,000 rupees model. And for the 7,000 rupees model it changes to 2GB RAM, 16GB internal storage, no fingerprint sensor, and hybrid SIM card slot remains on both the variants, and Qualcomm Snapdragon 430 remains on both the variants. So it pretty much shows us that the 7,000 rupees phone is actually a better comparison for the video or for the Moto E3 Power. We didn't really have that, so I'm comparing it with this, but it roughly gives us an idea that 7,000 rupees phone is sort of a little bit better compared to Moto E3 Power, Qualcomm Snapdragon 430. In the gaming point of view we can see a very big difference over here. So Moto E3 Power, we are playing Mortal Kombat 5 on basic settings, no edited, nothing, and it is lagging a little bit or a lot you can say. And on Redmi 3S Prime, for surprisingly, I was also surprised when I tested this device for the first time, that on Snapdragon 430 there is no lag. It is a very enjoyable experience, no heating issue on both the phones, but Moto E3 Power is not at all enjoyable experience. Yes, the front facing speaker, but it's a single front facing speaker on the Moto E3 Power is actually good, but except for that while gaming there is no other good point that I can find out. this is exactly the same story that is also shown in the benchmarks. 24,000 benchmark for the E3 power and 39,000 benchmark for the Redmi 3S Prime. A big difference, and that shows why there has been a gaming difference. So MediaTek's 1 GHz processor compared to Qualcomm's 430, MediaTek loses very badly. So this is a display comparison of both the phones. Do remember that Redmi 3S Prime has a tempered glass applied, but still the display quality on the E3 power is looking a little bit better. The display quality point of view, Moto E3 power takes a little bit of a lead. Now we will have a look at the camera of both the phones. The rear cameras 13 megapixel and 8 megapixel, and there is an obvious difference. Redmi 3S Prime and Moto E3 power. Yes, Moto E3 power a 16:9 ratio, but still the Redmi 3S Prime is more detailed. Battery screen on time. Because of an underclocked or a very low powered processor on the E3 power, we get a very good screen on time of around 5 hours to 6 hours of screen on time, which is actually very good. But when we again compare it with the Redmi 3S Prime, we get around 7 hours to 8 hours of screen on time. This is also on heavy usage, daily basis usage, and I was very impressed with the Redmi 3S Prime's battery. But it is, do remember that 4100 mAh versus 3500. So it's a decent comparison. So overall, I can definitely tell you that this was not really a very big comparison. It was a straight winner that if you have the budget of around 8,000, 9,000, go for the Redmi 3S Prime. It is by far one of the best devices Xiaomi has made under 10,000 rupees. It is winning very nicely, and Moto E3 power didn't really stand a chance to compete with Redmi 3S Prime. If you have the budget of under 9,000 rupees, go for the Redmi 3S Prime. If your budget is 7,000 or 8,000 rupees and can't stretch it to 9,000 rupees, go for the Redmi 3S, not the Prime version, for the base version. That is also better than Moto E3 power. Thank you very much for watching this video. This was Sharun here from 24/7 Techie, comparing these two devices. And do hit the like button, do share this video, and please do subscribe to the channel. It's a humble request. If you guys have any queries, any questions or any suggestions, comment on the video and we'll definitely talk further. And I would really like to see you in my next video. Till then, see ya.